the real reason, the true reason that habits matter is that every action you take is like a vote for the type of person you wish to become. I think it's very natural to start with results and outcomes, but the results are not the thing that you really need to change. What you need is to be consistent, to stick with it. You need to show up consistently. You need to follow through on, the actions that are going to lead to that outcome. So I kind of think of it almost like the layers of an onion.
Okay.
So the outermost layer of the onion are the results that you want the outcome. So let's say lose 40 pounds.
Okay.
The next layer in is the action, the plan that you have, the actions that you take. And most of the time when people want to make a change, they're like, yeah, I want this result, so I need to follow through on this plan. I need to go to the gym 4 days a week and eat on this diet or whatever. And the implicit assumption is if I do those things and get that result, then I'll be who I want to be. I'll be happy with who I am. I'll be more like the person that I hope to be. But the innermost layer of the onion, the core, is who you are, your identity, who you become. And so it's like what, how, and who. And instead of starting with what you want and figuring out how to do it and assuming that I will then be the person I want to be, I think it is better to invert that process and start by saying, who do I wish to become? Or in this example, who is the type of person that could lose 40 pounds? Well, maybe it's the type of person who doesn't miss workouts. And then you're focused on that, not on the weight. And so what it does is by focusing on the identity, it kind of inverts how you think about the habit.
Yeah.
Rather than it being about hitting a certain number on the scale, it becomes about becoming a certain type of person, being the type of person who doesn't miss workouts in this example. Your habits are how you embody a particular identity. So every day that you make your bed, you embody the identity of someone who's clean and organized. If you study biology for 20 minutes on Tuesday night, you embody the identity of someone who is studious. Your habits provide evidence of who you are. This is the real reason, the deeper reason that habits matter. We often talk about habits as mattering because of the external results that they get you. Hey, habits will help you be more productive or make more money or reduce stress. And look, habits can do all that stuff and that's great. But the real reason, the true reason that habits matter is that every action you take is like a vote for the type of person you wish to become. So no, doing one push-up does not transform your body, but it does cast a vote for, I'm the type of person that doesn't miss workouts. And no, giving one bit of positive feedback to somebody on your team does not make you the world's best leader, but it does cast a vote for, I'm the type of team member who cares about the people around them. And I think this is a little bit different than what you often hear. You often hear something like fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily have anything wrong with fake it till you make it. It's asking you to believe something positive about yourself. However, it's asking you to believe something positive without having evidence for it. And we have a word for beliefs that don't have evidence, call that delusion, right? Like we have this mismatch between what you say you are and what you're actually doing. And so my encouragement is to let the behavior lead the way, to let sending one email or writing one sentence or meditating for 5 minutes, to let that small action be evidence that in that moment you were that kind of person. And then as you start to cast votes for that identity, you have every reason in the world to believe it. And so I think this is what really gets habits to stick. It is the reinforcement of your story. It's the reinforcement of how you see yourself and the identity that you're trying to build. And that's why I say, I think we should often start by asking not what do I wish to achieve, but who do I wish to become? And how are my actions reinforcing that? And if you can get those two things aligned, now you have a really deep through line from your daily actions to this bigger, larger identity that you want to build. And if you can connect the things that you do each day, those small choices, with the person that you want to be in the long run, you can see how important they are even when they're little.
I want to make sure that as you're listening or watching, you really got that question. Who do I want to become? If you start there and you start with a vision for the kind of person you want to become, and then we invert that onion that you were talking about, so you know who you want to become, then you ask yourself, well, how do I become that kind of person and what do I need to do? Now we have a roadmap that leads you to the small daily habits that cast the vote to get you there.
I think what we're ultimately trying to get to is a place where you take pride in being that kind of person.